Hey guys, welcome to Game Jam, and today we are back again testing Roadhog's chain hook. First thing I want to demonstrate for you guys is the difference between Hitscan versus a projectile. So the idea here is he's going to be at a pretty far distance because the projectile is moving fast. He is going to move left to right across the screen. I'm going to trace him with my gun, and we're going to see whether I can hit him or not with the projectile. So let me get in position. I'm going really far away because the projectile is fast. So actually, we're just going to go max distance here. So go ahead, Roadhog. Oh, I missed. I suck. Okay, we're going to do that again. Go ahead and run right back across. Cool. Okay, so that was just demonstrating that was a hit scan shot, meaning that there's no lag to the bullet, and just as long as I had the cursor on him, I will hit. So we're going to do the same test again. Now it's a little bit harder to see because it's farther away, but I'm going to keep the projectile, or I'm going to try to keep it on the center of his mass as best as possible. We're going to have him just go back and forth, and I'm going to keep trying to hit you. So go ahead. Keep going. Yeah, this is perfect. Tell me if you get hit, okay? Okay, so what I was showing here, you can stop writing for just a second. What I want to demonstrate is that it looks like Roadhog's not taking any damage. Can you confirm for me you didn't take any damage during that time?
No damage at all.
Okay, cool. So we've settled that it didn't look like I was taking damage. Now, you might say, I missed my shot. Fair enough, totally understandable. It's a little bit hard to see on the screen, so I will do it some more. But now what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to lead the shot. So I'm going to shoot ahead of the Roadhog, and what I think will happen is even though I'm not aiming directly on him, because it's a projectile on the screen, he will walk into the bullet, if you will. So go ahead and do the same thing again. Yay, did you notice that? Here, go ahead, do the same thing again.
Got hit.
Oh, I missed. Go ahead. Keep going. Go again. Okay. So, and you got hit there again too, right?
Yes, 3 times.
Okay. So what you notice there is I was aiming well ahead of the target. Now, even though you might not be able to see the projectile on the screen, in order to make that hit go through, I had to lead Roadhog. So we're going to do this one more time. And I'm going to do again, I'm going to just go aim directly at Roadhog and see whether it hits or not. So go ahead. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, that's it. So the only time I got a hit right there, I was missing and I was aiming a little bit too far ahead. Now, potentially you could say there's server lag or something else, but what I was trying to do is say we did the test over and over again, so the likelihood is that that's a projectile and there's lag, and a lot of people have already said this is a projectile, and that's how we know it's treated. Similarly, if I did the sleep dart, which goes even slower, you can see that projectile, and so that can also be dodged. What's your the ping, PNG, at the top left?
There's 3 numbers. It's
okay.
11, and then 16.4, and then 27.
Okay, cool. So that's actually very close to mine because we're in the same location. Surprise! Oh, PPS in and PPS out. Can you read to me what numbers you're getting?
PPS in is about 65. PPS out is about 14.
And we're gonna test the time it is from when I click shift to when it actually hits you. So just stay right there. I'm gonna get very, very close. And here we go. Frame 0, the icon is off. Frame 1, the icon is activated. Frame 12 is when the target gets hit. Frame 14 is when the target is pulled back. And frame 56 is the last frame the icon is active. I'm gonna do it again. So it should be as soon as my light turns yellow on the button is when it activates. Okay, and you still have health, right? Okay, you're cool. Good. All right. So now the same thing here. We're gonna do the range test. We're gonna go at a very, very far distance. and I will walk it in. So we're going to use these yellow lines to help us see where things are. I'm going to get to the very front, right here. Yeah, like that. That's that icon. It's nice. And go, you can back up even further, and you're going to try to walk into range. Perfect. Okay, so we've established a clear range. So any testing that we do has to be within this range here, okay? So when we're doing our testing, you need to stay somewhere inside of this so that we know that it's guaranteed to hit. I'm going to do 2 or 3 more timing tests. We're just going to see how long it takes for you to get here. So just, you can sit right there. It's perfect. Go ahead and head back to the same spot again. I'm going to let you heal right after this too, so. That works. Perfect. And go ahead and heal up. I don't know if this is going to be part of the video or not, but I'm just going to say, what we're doing is testing the min and max of the time it takes for a character to take a hit. So the idea is that if we have the upper and lower bounds, we can then establish a time for when the hook locks in, and then we can establish whether we think it's Hitscan or not. The other thing too is that we're not going to trust the animation. So just because the hook is like, well, we see it on the screen, it's doing something. No. What we want to take into account is when somebody takes damage, because when somebody takes damage, that means the servers recognize it and everything's good. If the hook does something weird and funny, it might be that the client side has different information than the server, and that can lead to all sorts of, like, we can't tell what's happening. Okay, so the next test is a spin test. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go left to right. That was right to left. Okay, I'm going to go from right to left. We are going to activate the hook sometime while I am turning, and we are going to see at what angle does it go out at. Okay. And let's do that a few more times. Aha! That's a really good one. That's a perfect one. This is so imprecise, though. It's like a guess and check sort of thing. Still win again. Okay. Did that one seem to go up above you or no?
Yeah, kinda.
Okay, just curious. Oh! I spun in a full circle.
Oh, you did? I didn't even see you move.
We're fine. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah, you're doing fine. Perfect. And same thing again. Okay. Yeah, see? Okay, so that's too late. I'm gonna try it again. Go ahead. Keep doing that. It's perfect. Keep doing that. We're gonna keep doing this test. Keep doing this test. Keep doing this. Okay. So what I'm trying to establish here, you can go ahead and stop for a second. What I'm trying to establish here is that if I keep the cursor on the Genji the entire time, or very close to the Genji, and we already established that the hook radius is pretty big, I am not hitting the Genji. So what we're gonna do is, even further, I want you to come even closer to me. So maybe somewhere around the car. Yeah, that's perfect. Again, they're definitely within range. Do the exact same test. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, Okay, so that one did hit. So now I'm going to lead the Genji because what I believe is it's a projectile. And so if I lead the Genji with the proper distance, I think I will be able to hit him no problem. So go ahead. It looks like they got hit. So do the same thing again. Okay, notice the same thing again. I was leading the Genji and it hit. We'll keep doing it a few more times. Now, you might say that, well, the hitbox is pretty forgiving. We're going to try to do a more extreme test very soon. Let's do it two more times. Aha! That was... Aha! That was perfect. 11. Oh, that's perfect! Notice how the hook actually registers a hit, but still misses the target in the end. Animation is lying to you. Yeah. Yeah! That was perfect! Okay, I think that will do for that test. Well, whatever, doesn't matter. Okay, go ahead when you're ready. Messed up. Frame 0 before the hit. Frame 1 after the damage. Frame 3, I activate the ability and get stunned at the exact same time. It's a simultaneous hit.
Let's try that again.
Again? Okay, actually I need to go to the side. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna point out something. This wall is way ahead. The hook, not only did the hook not get past, it hit the wall, right? So we're gonna do the same exact test again. This is actually really good. Let's do it at 20:05. That is a clear block. Okay, so that is a simultaneous hit. So what ends up happening is my ice wall still goes out and it'll still pull me. However, if I do it right before that moment, we're gonna do the same thing again. We'll do it at 1915.
This will stop.
Okay guys, did I tire you out with all my tests? So let me just do a summary for anybody who just found the test too much and just wants to understand what the final conclusion is and why I was doing all this. So what we're trying to find out is what was the last frame it's possible for a hit scan to lock in and then show somebody being able to dodge or move out of the way in time sometime after that point. So what we did is after a bunch of tests, we found that the chain would lock in a trajectory at 10 frames. It could possibly be 9 or 11 if there's some sort of borderline case, but 10 kind of makes sense because that's actually exactly 200 milliseconds. So I'll give it some leeway that it could be potentially 11 milliseconds. And then 12 frames was the shortest amount of time where I could register a hit on a character, which makes it so that that's as long as a hit scan can take. If it takes longer than that, it definitely has to be projectile. And so after proving that it was taking 10 frames or 12 frames to register a hit, we did test to see if somebody could dodge afterwards. Now, some people were claiming issues about, oh, well, somebody would dodge and the chain would still follow them. What I want to disprove is a simultaneous hit versus a regular hit. So if there is a simultaneous hit, which I showed many, many times, you still have 2 frames to do something before the stun takes place after your character gets hit. And so a lot of times I think what people see and they go, oh, that's crud because I dashed out of the way and I still got pulled. Well, you know what? You actually took the hit and then dodged after that point. And that's where the animation isn't always accurate to what's happening. If you did, in fact, do it before, you can dodge ahead of time, and I showed it multiple times over. We did it with Genji, we did it with Tracer, and we even did it with Mei's ice wall, where you see the projectile coming in, and we put up the ice wall. So the end conclusion, it's a projectile, it's not Hitscan, and I just want to note, I did an hour and a half of testing on this, so this isn't something that I came up with in a short amount of time where I'm just like, there, I'm done. I gave as much testing time as I could to it, so yeah, that's my conclusion there. The rest of this video is going to cover other scenarios that came up and that we were talking about while testing, so it still might be interesting for you guys, and I'll tell you a little bit about how the new hook mechanism works when somebody enters into a doorway. But that's it. I will leave the rest. I'll go back to the video now. So perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to establish where the edge of hitting is. So we're going to do the same thing again. This hits. And I'm not moving my mouse, by the way, just an FYI. Look, my. So you can see right there that just ever so slightly off the edge, basically when the hook is actually going out, it's actually going out as a line. As long as that line doesn't hit anything, it will continue to go out. So now we're gonna have you do the shield. So just push shift to put your shield up. And we're doing the same test to see what makes it hit. Go ahead. Oh, that actually hit it. Okay, go ahead. But that goes past. Do it again. Do it again. Okay. So actually, the shield seems to have almost a little bit more of a bubble. Because it was not on the white shield, but you technically a little bit past it, you could still get it to hit. Just barely. Oh, wait a second. We're going to do that same test again. I think they fixed that. Let's try something else real quick.
What?
I'll explain in just a second. And get back in a position one more time. Okay. It used to be that where you aimed your gun, there was a technique for getting the character pulled to a different position, but it doesn't seem that happens anymore. It seems that it's mostly just movement based. If you move your body, it will move where you end up. So like, for example, I'm gonna hook you just normally. You end up like right there. Now go ahead and step back. And notice how completely different position you're in, because I moved my body to another location while the hook was going out, right? So before it used to be there was a trick where you turn to the right and then turn back and you'd pull the character closer, but I don't think that's the case anymore. I think it's literally a static position based on where your character was when you fired it and where you were at the end of the firing, or at the end of getting it pulled back.
We'll test the other way, that if you pull it, you can pull back or whatever you're saying.
Okay, go ahead and step back again. Oh, that's crazy. We gotta do that again. That was crazy. Crazy. Okay. That is actually really cool, really interesting test. So what I'm demonstrating here is that the engine is trying to guess where you're gonna be and put the character there. So hang on, we're actually gonna try something real quick too. Okay, wait, go back up again. Whoopsies. You know what? Again, this goes back to this technique that was a very important technique for using Roadhog, that you're supposed to back up or move forward or move left and right in order to put the character in a better position for your shot. But what seems to be happening is, regardless of which direction I'm turning, which direction I'm going, the character ends up being pretty much the exact same distance away. Yeah, because this is crazy. Okay, I'm gonna do this again. It's the same distance. No. No, 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 no. Is that really any closer? If there is it may be a very tiny difference in distance, possibly. But if it is minute, and it hardly matters what you do after you pull the hook. It's all that's important is that the character will end up in that same position. And I believe somebody else established that different characters have different positions. So if I pull a heavy character, they will end up further away. There are 6 characters that are considered light enough that will get pulled closer. Aha! That's part of the new mechanic. The new mechanic is that if I get a hit when I did have line of sight, it will put you back into my line of sight before it pulls you back. Let's do it one more time. Yep. Okay. So notice here that even though you probably on your screen, you went around the corner.
I was over here and pulled you through the wall.
More where you can hit me here, and you're not gonna move your cursor at all. You're just gonna aim to hit me when I'm passing across, and you're gonna have to lead me a little bit, but just do your best. Aha! So what I want to demonstrate to everybody is that this is what it looks like on your end. I'm gonna do the same thing one more time. Actually, that might work fine. Go ahead. Yeah! This is what's throwing it off. What ends up happening is while you're in the process of pulling me, I clip off this wall here, which pushes my character to the right. And the new mechanic is that certain characters like Lucio get pulled closer to you automatically. So in attempting to pull me closer, it pushes me to the side. Double checking here. Same thing again. That's funny. It actually pushes you away. Okay, so notice how she lines up right about here. And we're going to do it one more time. Go ahead and back up again. And I'm not going to move after this one. Okay, so this is right about the spot. Go ahead and switch over to Tracer real quick. Get in line. Good enough. Notice, I did not move my position, and she ended up way closer. Let's do the exact same test again. Look at that. Look at that right there. Oh, and let me do one where I'm not moving my hand. Go ahead. Oh, hang on. Actually, I want you to stop in place when I get you. See that? It was before, it was here, now it is here. I believe there was another video that showed the 6 characters that do it, so I'm not going to go through testing them all, but just note that there are some characters that are considered light that will pull closer, and other characters that are not considered light, so they will be pulled the normal distance. To the left to eat. Perfect. Okay, walking it in.
Clearing the area. Get back.
Walking it in.
Clearing
Aha! Okay, so you basically got like a little extra sphere around it. The projectile's got a really big healing hitbox. So the real question is, does this hit?
I have your back.
Yep. And if I go even further, go ahead. Oh, that's perfect. That's fine. That's healing you, right?
Yeah.
I've seen worse. You're going to live.
Yeah. So you can heal around line of sight. So the line of sight doesn't matter at all. It's just a matter of just having a really big projectile hitbox. It's kind of almost like Roadhog's chain hook, as a matter of fact.